I got early access to Year 7 Season 3 Mutiny via the PTS, and the star of the show is a full companion system. You'll recruit dedicated True Sons, level them up, give them orders, and watch them revive you or drop an RPG on a crowd. It's not an extra skill, it is the seasonal modifier. 3 archetypes, random traits, and a brand new command link meter to power their abilities. Is this the shakeup we've been waiting for? Lock and load. Let's dive in.
Accept the division. This is a war you can't win.
Piece of shit wristwatch.
Freak out, yo.
Bandidos, what up, your boy Tux here. Season 3 Mutiny is all about the True Sons falling apart. And out of that chaos, you got to recruit defectors who now fight on your side. You'll spot them in the open world fights. Sometimes a True Son guy flips and starts helping you. If you win the encounter, you can talk to him and bring him on board. There's also a special side mission called Mutiny Hotspot that introduces the whole system and gives you your first companion. Here's the big twist. Companions replace the usual seasonal modifiers. Everything you do with them feeds the new command link global modifier. There's a little meter next to your health bar. You'll fill it by doing teamwork stuff, shooting the same target together, giving orders, reviving each other, that kind of thing. When the bar fills, you trigger your companion's active ability. And the more you play with that archetype, the stronger the ability gets permanently. You need to be aware companions don't have skills of their own. So you can't attach a turret or attach a drone. Nothing like that. They have active abilities, and that active ability might be a skill, like the engineer will put up a turret or the medic will drop a healing station, but the assault, his active is going to be that grenade launcher, so it's not necessarily a skill. But that's what you get. You can collect up to 3 companions total, one of each archetype: assault, medic, and engineer. Assault is this aggressive one. He pushes forward, bounces in and out of cover, and his active is an RPG that explodes and bleeds everything in a 7-meter radius. Starts decent, levels up to nasty AoE. The medic hangs back. He keeps you alive. His active drops a support station that revives, heals, and cleanses everyone in 15 meters for 10 seconds. And he switches to shock ammo while it's up. And yes, all 3 archetypes can pick you up. It's not just the medic. Engineer plays safe from range and deploys a turret that prioritizes weak points and enemy proxies for 20 seconds. Levels give him weak point damage and an EMP blast when the turret dies. Every companion you recruit comes with 2 random traits specific to their archetype. Some are straight buffs, some are trade-offs. Faster movement but less armor, that kind of thing. You can swap companions anytime, and the new one inherits all the levels you've already earned for that archetype, so you're never wasting progress. And why would you swap companions? Well, companions come with 2 random traits. Now, we don't know what the full pool of traits are, but ideally, you're looking for those 2 to match your playstyle or to give you the most buff. So imagine farming for companions all season long. Trust me, they're plentiful. They're out there. Not hard to find. I know a lot of people were asking for this, but there's no reskins. What you recruit is what you get. So when you're playing in group, only one companion is active for the whole group at a time. Any player can override and bring in their own. If, for example, everybody ran the medic and you rotate the medics depending on who's active is available, maybe you can get maximum uptime on that healing station. Fortunately, because of the PTS, I wasn't able to test these in group, so we'll just have to explore more once it officially launches. Your personal command link meter still fills no matter whose companion is out, and all the passive modifiers work for everyone. So again, I did play this solo, but with the variety of possible passive modifiers, it could be pretty powerful in a group. Let's look at the structure. It replaces the modifier system. It is the modifier system. So instead of something that directly impacts your build, this is going to impact your build based on cooperative team play with your companion. So your active modifier is now going to be the archetype that you select. Now you have to unlock them first, which is pretty easy. You just have to encounter that archetype out there in the field. We didn't get access to the journey missions or objectives. I think those would be considered spoilers. I'm not sure if there's going to be more to leveling these guys up through the journey. We'll have to wait and see. But from my experience, I was able to unlock the medic or the engineer just by encountering that archetype. This could change. As far as the passives go, you can choose 3 as usual, equip or unequip at any time as long as you're not in combat. They're basically broken into offense, tactical, and defense. And I'm going to go through all of these separately. There's essentially going to be a meta of this set from what I can tell, so stay tuned for that. You'll also have the 3 usual hostile modifiers running against you. Commander elites that buff nearby enemies, jammers that slow your link gain and disable passives, and fire teams that share damage, resistance, and healing. Yeah, there's damage resistance this season. Oh boy. Here's my no BS review. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, let's talk about the good. It feels alive. Giving orders works relatively smooth. The random traits keep recruitment exciting, so it feels cool to run into another mutineer out there and to check him out, see if he's better than what you got. The special ammo that they dish out is pretty cool. I found that status effect helpful from time to time. So the good thing about especially the medic, you can put him in cover, and he does for the most part stay there. They're smart enough to move a little bit if they get flanked. They do a good job of picking up the greatest threat that happens to be in front of them. Also, what is good, and I think you guys are really gonna like this, your build can extend to them in ways. Sort of like how your skills work. For example, if you're running armor on kill, if they get a kill all on their own, you don't have to participate, that armor on kill is going to apply to you. They do a decent job of getting you up. They're about as reliable as the civilian control point captain, but yeah, they can get you if there's no status effects around. And they're kind of funny. They have these one-liners, maybe too many, but they say funny stuff, and yeah, they got potty mouth, so I guess they're keeping it real that way. I'm glad they thought about how this is gonna work in squads. I'm not sure I like the way it works in squads. Yeah, you can't recruit an army, but I think I'd rather recruit an army. In a team of 4, I would like to see 4 companions out there, and that's a good segue into the bad. So the bad is, well, the assault, for example, I couldn't keep him alive for the life of me, especially in legendary. I would tell him to get in cover, he would go to cover and then get right back out, and then he would die because he doesn't have that much armor. The companions have more armor than we do, but not enough to bullet sponge the Black Tusk. So the assault was just all over the place, and it made me feel just like, why even bother? He can just go out and do whatever he does. But it starts to get irritating when you have a man down. It's like an itch that you need to scratch, and you feel like you need to go save him. I kept trying to keep my companion by my side so that we can focus fire, and I can use him to lift my DPS. That would be the ideal synergy, but I just could not get him to sit still. And even if he wasn't shooting at the same target I was, if he could just stand next to me so that he could pick up the aggro, many times I'd find him just on the other side of the control point. One of the things that they did not implement, and I think they need to in order for this to go smooth, is an on me function where you can call them to be in stride with you or stick to your hip. You can place them in cover, but there's a slight delay for the cover icon to show up. That kind of slows you down and it makes it feel a little bit clunky. Remember, this thing is replacing modifiers we've become accustomed to that buff our build directly. And although the seasonal modifier has buffs to us like reload speed and a little bit more damage here and a little bit more damage there, I just didn't feel it. Mostly maybe because the companions are just running wild, and to actually control them or to get them to what you really want them to do, it's just not there. And a lot of it is as simple as, hey, let's both shoot at the same target. By the time this guy would get around to shooting the same target, the target would already be dead. He's just slow to react because he's too busy doing random shit, like spitting out one-liners and tucking and rolling and bouncing from one cover to the other. These guys miss a lot of shots. They just have straight damage. They're not able to crit. None of them really do crap for damage, but the medic and the engineer are even worse. You're doing all of the work. You'd be lucky to get this guy to kill 2 or 3 out of 50 of those dudes in the control point. Of course, you don't want these guys to be better at the game than you are, but we outperform them so much, I don't really feel like they're that helpful. I mean, they're less helpful than a brand new player who started the game today at level 1. I'd rather have that on my team than the companion. Getting the most of them is a little bit of a nightmare. So for example, with the engineer, I had to work hard and do all of these commands in order to get the points I needed for him to activate his turret. He activated his turret basically in a glitch inside the tires instead of above the tires. You can't tell him where to activate the turret. You can just put him in cover and hope he puts it in a good place. Otherwise, when you activate that thing, he could put it anywhere. You can put it on the ground, whatever. He's not going to put it in the smartest place. That was just a big letdown because you have to work hard to get those active abilities. They don't come as easy as I would want them to come. And when he does put it up after all of that hard work, it doesn't really change the game. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, it's supposed to do things, shoot things or whatever, but the duration is so short. So you might find yourself sitting on the active ability, hoping for the right opportunity to come along, and maybe it never does. And the medic is sort of the same. He drops his healing station, which is hella weak, and the buffs to the healing station don't seem to be that attractive. You can give it a little bit more duration through the passives, but for the most part, it's like range. It gives more range. And the heals are slow. It's way weaker than the Black Tusks and our healing hive. At least it does more than heal. It can pick you up too. The odds have to be stacked in your favor for it to heal you and pick you up when it's down because, you know, the duration of this thing is short. So far, from what I can tell, you can't buff their core stats of the archetype. So the damage they put out is the damage they put out, except for what you can do with the modifier system or the passive modifiers. All right, let's talk about the ugly. It seems like a slog fest when it comes to earning the points to use their actives. Their actives just don't come up very often. The assault guy, his RPG, he misses. And that sucks. You're like, I worked hard for that and you fucking missed. The guy was right in front of you. He glitches a lot. I'm gonna show some clips of this. I'm hoping they fix it, but he just gets confused. Sometimes he just kind of runs in a little mini circle, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And there were times where he would get glitched in between his assault rifle and his RPG. And so he basically had no weapon in his hand. That's not helpful. All of the durations on all of the skills are very pathetic. At the end of the day, it all just feels like it's not worth it. You do all of this work and it's all of this hassle. It starts to feel like an annoyance and a distraction, giving the orders and whatnot. At first, it's like, oh, this is pretty smooth. It's pretty easy. But when there's no big payoff, it feels like a distraction. If I could sum it up, you're doing a lot of work. Yes, it's easy. Send them here, send them there. But it's a lot of tedious, distracting work. I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of it. The juice is not worth the squeeze. If it launches like this might be the first season I don't run modifiers. Final thoughts, I really do love the modifier system. I think this thing would have launched better alongside the modifier system instead of replacing it, so at least we have our power. It would have been much more exciting. In order for these dudes to be worth it, they need to do much more damage, be way more smarter, maybe even be hella more tanky. I wouldn't even mind invulnerable. If they're not going to do good damage, then they need to be invulnerable. The buffs to our build need to be mega. Their active abilities need to be 10 times longer. Everything needs to be buffed big time. Otherwise, I don't think many people will enjoy this. Although it'll feel cool in the beginning and people will want to use it because it's there, it's not enough to keep people from wandering the entire season. Those are my thoughts. So do you think the companion should be immortal or not? Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you at the rendezvous. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm Tuxedo Bandido, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on the good stuff I have coming for you. And if you like content like this, be sure to check out the video I have recommended for you right here. If you have anything you would like me to cover, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make things possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be the same without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Wait, did we just become best friends?